Ah, the grandeur of a royal palace, the glittering crown jewels, the pomp and circumstance of a coronation. Enthralling, isn't it? But consider for a moment the irony of it all. Here we are in the 21st century, still entranced by a system as ancient as feudalism. Monarchy, a relic of a bygone era, still persists in some corners of Europe. Why, though? Why do these nations continue to venerate a system that stands as a stark contradiction to the ideals of equality and meritocracy? Now, let's delve into the contrasting monarchies of Sweden and the UK. In the north, we have Sweden, where the monarchy consistently backs authoritarian socialist reform while preserving royal traditions. The Swedish king, for instance, recently voiced support for a proposal to limit private schooling, yet he himself was educated in one of the finest private institutions in the country. Jump over to the UK and we see a monarchy that has historically been a symbol of imperialism and colonialism. Even today, the Queen remains the head of the Commonwealth, a group largely made up of former British colonies. The irony of this situation was brought into sharp relief when Prince Harry and Meghan Markle revealed their struggles within the royal family, leading to a worldwide discussion about the monarchy's relevance and attitudes. These contrasting positions highlight the complex nature of monarchies in the modern world. As we journey further, we'll see how these systems compare to the republics of Europe. In juxtaposition, let's explore the republics of Europe. They have presidents, prime ministers, and chancellors, leaders chosen by the people, for the people. Here, the highest office isn't a birthright, but an aspiration for any citizen, regardless of their lineage. It's a system that embodies equality and shatters the glass ceiling of aristocratic privilege. Now, some might argue that monarchies represent stability. They serve as unifying figures, a symbol of national identity and continuity. But delve deeper into the annals of history and you'll find monarchies have often been anything but stable. From the French Revolution to the abdication crisis in England, monarchies have been at the heart of some of the most tumultuous periods in European history. And then there's the argument of tourism, the allure of royal palaces, the intrigue of royal history, the spectacle of royal weddings. Undeniably, these draw millions of tourists each year. But is that a valid reason to maintain an outdated system? The Colosseum, the Parthenon, the Berlin Wall, these are all remnants of past eras, yet they continue to captivate tourists. The allure of history doesn't necessitate its continuation. Interestingly, monarchists often argue that monarchy is an integral part of European culture. It's as if, without the crowns, the thrones, the palaces, European identity would somehow be lessened. But let's take a closer look at this argument. Germany, France, Italy, these are countries often considered the harbingers of European culture. From Beethoven to Da Vinci, from Goethe to Voltaire, these nations have made significant contributions to the world. But what's ironic is that all these countries have abandoned the monarchy. They've opted for a republic, yet their cultural relevance remains undiminished. So, where does this leave the monarchists and their cultural argument? Do they believe that these countries, the ones that have abandoned monarchy, do not represent European culture? It's indeed an intriguing question to ponder. Now, before we go any further, it's essential to remember that this isn't a call for anarchy or a takedown of tradition. Rather, it's an invitation to question, to think critically about the systems we often take for granted. Take a moment to ponder. What does it say about a society that continues to uphold a system where power and prestige are inherited, not earned? Is it fair? Is it just? Does it align with our ideals of equal opportunity and social mobility? And while we're questioning, let's also consider the cost. Maintaining a monarchy doesn't come cheap. Palaces need upkeep, royal tours need funding, and let's not forget the security detail. These costs are often borne by taxpayers. Contrast that with a republic where public funds are invested in infrastructure, healthcare, education, areas that directly impact the lives of citizens. So, what's the verdict? Is the charm of a monarchy worth the cost, both literal and metaphorical? Or is it time for these nations to bid adieu to their royal families and embrace the ideals of a republic? Lastly, let's delve into how monarchy fundamentally clashes with the concept of equal rights. Monarchy systematically discriminates based on factors like ethnic origin, race, sexual orientation, religion, and predominantly class. For exemplification, the prerequisite that the leader of the state should belong to a specific lineage contravenes the values of an egalitarian and accepting society. This discrimination is particularly conspicuous in the realm of religion, with the monarch often leading the state religion, thereby sidelining other beliefs. Along similar lines, ethnic origin and class have a substantial influence in deciding the eligibility for monarchical positions, thus fostering institutional bias. The monarchy upholds the archaic practice of privileging inherited status over merit, a concept that is antiquated in our progressively evolving societies. Could it be the right time to reassess the role of monarchy in a society that cherishes the principles of equality and tolerance? As we wrap up our discussion, it's crucial to emphasize that the majority of countries worldwide have abolished monarchy, and for valid reasons. The monarchy system, fraught with intrinsic discrimination and archaic notions of privilege, fails to align with the principles of equality and meritocracy that we cherish today. The inherited status, often seen as a symbol of pride and continuity, is increasingly being scrutinized under the lens of modern societal values. The world is progressively moving toward systems that reward individual effort and talent rather than birthright. As we advance, it's incumbent upon us to critically examine the systems we uphold and instigate changes that mirror our evolving values and ideals. Could it be that the time has come to bid adieu to the monarchy, a relic of the past, and embrace a future that truly reflects equal rights and opportunities? The answer lies in our hands, and the choices we make today will shape the world of tomorrow.